Remember when fast food in America was actually cheap? A burger, fries, and a drink used to cost just a few dollars. Now, some Americans are paying nearly $20 for one fast food meal, and people are starting to ask a serious question. When did fast food become luxury food? Millions of Americans are shocked every time they drive through McDonald's, Chipotle, Wendy's, or Starbucks. But the truth behind these rising prices is bigger than burgers and fries. It's connected to inflation, wages, rent, supply chains, and the changing American economy itself. And once you understand what's happening, you'll never look at fast food prices the same way again. Welcome back to the Dollar Pilot. Today we're talking about something millions of Americans experience almost every single week: shockingly expensive fast food prices. For decades, fast food in America was built around one simple idea: cheap, fast, and convenient meals for ordinary people. Families, students, workers, and travelers all relied on it because it saved both time and money. But now, many Americans feel stunned when they pull up to the drive-thru. A combo meal that once cost $6 or $7 can now easily cost $15 to $20 in some cities. Even basic coffee drinks, sandwiches, tacos, or chicken meals feel dramatically more expensive than they did just a few years ago. And people across social media keep asking the same question: why does fast food suddenly feel unaffordable? The answer starts with inflation. After the pandemic, the United States experienced the highest inflation levels in decades. Food ingredients, cooking oil, meat, dairy products, packaging materials, transportation costs, and utilities all became more expensive at the same time. Fast food companies had no choice but to raise prices. But inflation alone does not explain everything. One major factor is labor costs. Fast food chains across America struggled to hire workers after the pandemic. Many restaurants face staffing shortages, high employee turnover, and increased competition for workers. To attract employees, companies raised wages significantly in many states. Now, higher wages help workers, especially in expensive cities where rent and living costs are rising rapidly. But businesses usually pass those higher labor expenses directly onto consumers through menu prices. That means customers end up paying more for every meal. Another hidden reason is commercial real estate costs. Many Americans don't realize how expensive restaurant locations have become. Rent for prime locations in cities, suburbs, airports, and shopping centers has increased dramatically over the past decade. Restaurants also face rising electricity bills, insurance costs, maintenance expenses, and equipment prices. Even something as simple as paper cups, straws, delivery bags, or food containers became more expensive because of supply chain disruptions and higher manufacturing costs. And then there's delivery culture. Apps like Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Grubhub completely changed the fast food industry. Millions of Americans now order food directly to their homes, but delivery platforms charge restaurants large fees, sometimes reaching 20 to 30% per order. To protect profits, many restaurants quietly increased menu prices across the board. This is why ordering fast food through delivery apps often feels insanely expensive compared to eating inside the restaurant. Corporate pricing strategies also play a role. Many major fast food companies realized consumers were still willing to pay higher prices despite complaining online. Large corporations focus heavily on profit margins and shareholder expectations. In some cases, companies continued raising prices simply because customers kept buying. This created a strange situation in America where fast food companies reported strong profits while average consumers felt financially squeezed. And here's where things become even more interesting. Fast food used to compete mainly on affordability. Now many chains are trying to compete on premium experiences. Restaurants redesigned stores, upgraded menus, added digital ordering systems, introduced specialty drinks, and marketed higher-end products. Instead of selling the cheapest food possible, many brands shifted toward maximizing profits per customer. That strategy changed pricing dramatically. At the same time, America's overall cost of living keeps rising. Housing costs, healthcare expenses, insurance bills, fuel prices, and groceries are already consuming huge portions of household income. So even moderate fast food price increases feel emotionally overwhelming for many Americans. This is why people online constantly post photos showing a fast food receipt costing $40 or $50 for a small family meal. For many middle-class households, fast food no longer feels like a budget option. It feels like an occasional luxury. And perhaps the biggest reason Americans feel frustrated is psychological. People expect fast food to be cheap. That expectation existed for decades in American culture. So when consumers suddenly pay restaurant-level prices for drive-through meals, it creates financial frustration and emotional shock at the same time. Another important issue is portion sizes and value perception. Many customers now feel they're paying more while receiving smaller portions and lower quality. This phenomenon is often called shrinkflation. Companies reduce portion sizes quietly while keeping prices high or raising them further. As a result, consumers feel like their money buys less than before. Now here's the big question. Will fast food prices ever become cheap again? Realistically, probably not. Historically, once businesses raise prices significantly, they rarely return to old pricing levels unless there's a severe economic downturn. Instead, companies usually keep prices high while consumers slowly adapt. That's already happening across America right now. More people are cooking at home, meal prepping, using grocery discounts, or limiting restaurant visits entirely. Some Americans are even realizing that buying groceries and cooking meals at home can now cost less than fast food. That would have sounded crazy just a decade ago, and this shift could permanently change the American food economy. The truth is, rising fast food prices are connected to much bigger economic problems: inflation, labor shortages, housing costs, energy prices, corporate profit strategies, and changing consumer behavior. Fast food prices are not rising in isolation. They're reflecting the broader financial pressure hitting millions of Americans across the country. At the Dollar Pilot, we believe understanding these economic changes matters because financial awareness is becoming more important than ever in modern America. Because when you understand where your money is really going, you can make smarter financial decisions for your future. And right now, millions of Americans are realizing that even something as simple as fast food is no longer as affordable as it used to be. So the next time you see a $20 fast food receipt, remember, it's not just about burgers and fries anymore. It's about the changing American economy itself.